To the USRLA on the One to Go Studios network. I have been 2 weeks off, Super Bowl and Valentine's Day, so we're back to points racing. Are now David Dunwoody. Well, actually, as I said that, Adam O'Brien now taking to the top spot. 15-2-25. Getting closer to that 100, folks, that we're looking for. 100 followers on that unit, the One to Go Studios Facebook's page. If you give us a chance, give us a little follow there if you would. Definitely would appreciate your assistance in that matter there. It's about less than a minute left in practice here. It's going to be a 70-lap, 40-minute run. One fast repair. 2-lap qualify in a solo qualifier. And then we'll get going. 35 is the pace speed, 30 for the pit speed. Alright, so that is the conclusion of practice. So we'll start to line them all up here, get them started for the next segment, which will be the actual qualifier. Now we're on board with Jeremy Weber. We're on looking at Jeremy Weber from the TV camera here. Let's go back to Weber. Weber just basically clocked the fastest time, so check him out from the gyro cam, see how he's tearing into that car. And he's going up onto the outer track, getting high, very wide up on the back stretch there. Like Weber just finished, as he's going to Hang it out here and take it easy. 15,259. Fast time. See if we can maybe find somebody else on the track. This is Ryan Roast. And these cars are going to definitely be slipping and sliding, and looks like they're smoking those tires. Ninth. Yeah, if we get into Jordan, that came out here. Jordan's got the low line there, 15,484. But he also got Fish, the 98 machine. Looks like he had the 38 on the car, but he is clocked as the 98. Alright, so we're waiting for the conclusion of our qualifier. 2:30 left in the qualification. Run down the current system here we have. They don't looking for a scenery. Aaron doesn't look for one. And down there, the pit lane. So currently in the lead is Jeremy Weber in the number 11. He has 152 points. 14 back behind him is David Dunwoody, also known as Andy, in the number 28. David Trumley was fourth. He moved up to third last week, or last 2 weeks ago, and 121. He is in a two-way tie with Jeremy Dunwoody. It looks like he has more race points, so that puts him up front. That's what that gives him by total race points first, and then bonus points second. So that's how that goes. And so Jeremy Dunwoody is in fourth in the 13. Brian Sharp 20 in the fifth position, 25 car. Kevin Blackburn the 77 is seventh. Eric Sellers the 97 is the sixth. Adam O'Brien the 74 is in the 9. Don Fisher the 98 in eighth. Adam Gia is in the 22 car in 10th. I don't saw him today. And then we got Braden Nagel as 11th spot, number 10. A few others that haven't really shown from time to time. So right now we got have the grid out, so we can grid. And today's grid is brought to you by Blackmagic Designs. If you're looking for a new paint scheme, give Andy and the guys over there at Blackmagic Designs a shout. Get them on Facebook. Or you can contact him directly from iRacing, and that's David Dunwoody is his iRacing handle. All right, so Jeremy Weber is starting on the inside pole in the number 11 machine, 15,259. Outside of him is the Adam O'Brien, 15,276 and the 74. Inside row 2, David Dunwoody in the 28. Outside of him is Jeremy Dunwoody, his brother, 15,420 in the 13 machine. Eric Sellers is going to be rolling off in the inside of 3, and outside of him in the number 7 is Jordan Dubé. If I said that right. Brian Sharp in the 25 is going to be rolling off inside of 4. Anthony Giuliano going to be on the outside of 4 in the 43 machine. We have David Trumley in the 96 rolling off 9th. Fish running off in the 98 and 10th. And pulling in the back is Ryan Roost in the 16 machine. So there we go. That was brought to you by Blackmagic Designs. All right, we're going to be looking up here through at Jeremy Weber as we're looking at the pace car, and currently he has the lights are off, so he should dump out and let these guys get off the racing. We said it's a 70 lap event, so this is going to be a bit. See how these guys do. Said waiting for the pace car to leave the track. Here in the rule book, the number 11 will wait for the green flag on the first start, and then after that it'll be on the leader. Pace car off the track. There goes the 11 and the 74. Green flag racing. 11 is up on the wheel going into turn number 1 on the back stretch here. 74 high and wide. The 28 goes on his inside. And put that Weber out there quite a bit. Weber off there to the front. 3 wide behind him. And there's their Weber coming. Weber fastest time, 15:3:88 on the back stretch now. Pretty good back gap there between him and Eric. Eric Sellers and Adam O'Brien are fighting side by side. The Dunwoody brothers right behind them. Side by side, the 74, 97 tucks in below. The 74 got that inside line, 97 on the outside. 28 looking for the outside line, 13 inside of him, the 16 following. Jeremy Weber just put up again another fast lap, 15:3:71. We're 5 of 70 in. As we continue to watch these guys in the next set of systems here. And 74 down in the second position there. Reloading timing and scoring here. We had a glitch. Get on that. That 74 machine continues to be in second with David Dunwoody behind it. Back to scoring errors. Alright, so we currently have Jeremy Weber in the top spot. Go back to Jeremy Weber. David Dunwoody now with the fastest time. And there, Jeremy Weber, looking at him as he's going through the pace his laps here, hitting his corners. Here the car is sliding through. And there's the stripe right there. So that was a lap with Jeremy Weber. Up out here into the TV camera. Ryan Roast now with the fastest lap of 15:3:27. So let's check him out. Alright, so Jeremy Dunwoody right behind him there. So let's go through the field. Jeremy Weber in the 11 machine is our leader. Got back in the 11 machine, and we go back to him to the 74, Adam O'Brien. And follow him is David Dunwoody. And back here, Eric Sellers is in the 4th spot. Ryan Roos in that 16 machine, and Jeremy Dunwoody is the 6th position, looking really close, looking for a pass. Anthony Giuliano in that 43 machine is looking at the front of him with Jeremy Dunwoody in the 7th spot. Brian Sharp in the 25 in his 8th. David Trumley is 96 in 9th. Georgia Bay is 7 in 10th. And Fish in the 98 is running 11th. We're actually catching up to Fish at this point here. You can see him out there in front of him. See how Jeremy Dunwoody here as he's looking on the inside of the 16. See those guys sliding around in those cars. Really see how they're sliding around here. Right, we're gonna run back up here to Jeremy Weber as he's getting up into lap traffic. Jeremy Weber, 11 machine, off to a good start, 0.8 of a second ahead of Adam O'Brien as he's just completed 23. So just about a third of the way done here. A little bit more than a third done. Jeremy Weber continuing to pace the field. The 74 is catching up to him. Adam O'Brien in that 74 machine has cut the lead to about 0.6. Behind them is Eric Sellers and David Dunwoody. Go to intervals between each car now. .74 on lap 28 of 70 has got the lead down to less than a half a second as he continues to look for that 11 machine as he's starting to deal with lap traffic. Looks like Eric Sellers and David Dunwoody are having themselves a little battle as Dunwoody takes to that inside groove and hugs around the inside apron as the 97 takes the high line. That position to the 28 now in third. As he goes around there. Right behind him, and then Ryan Bruce looks like he's starting to challenge as well. On Sellers. Here's a look there here. Long race here, 31 of 70, so we're 30 laps in. 35 will be at halfway. Jeremy, checking with Jeremy Weber here as Adam is still 0.4 behind. .11 machine, high, wide, and handsome there. He goes in and the diamond's out. He's making it one singular turn instead of two, so it's an apex there. He goes wide on the high. Coming out to the stripe. Back down and repeat. So we're trying to make this a two-turn track, the number 11 machine. Like he had a little bit of issue on the off there, allowed Adam O'Brien to cut in within 0.4 now. A little bit tight coming off the turn there. Right there on that yellow line. And he's back to 0.4 back to the number 74 machine as we're on 35. So we'll be showing the cross flags right here. Cross flags to that 11 machine. 0.4 back. Looks like the 11 is looking at the 7, which is a lap car coming up into view. And at 74 is looking for anything he can to close the gap to the 11. 7 went down to the apron to give room to the leaders. That's 11 and 74. Adam O'Brien still 4/10 behind Weber. Still trying to find a spot that's going to give him some kind of speed, and he's not really able to find it. But like there, he got within 2 car lengths, so with 3/10, so he did eat a 10th off that lap. 38 down of 70. Gap now 2/10 between the 11 and the 74. The 74 is looking to mount a challenge to that 11 machine. He's found a way to get around this track slightly better than the 11. Kind of using his draft a little, I'm sure. So the 74 is now sitting on that right corner panel. Now he's looking below. Excuse me. 74 looking for a passing opportunity, as now they're within 2/10 between the two, the 11 and the 74. Now within a 10th. Right there now. 74 sizing him up, looking for an opportunity. Which person is going to make the first mistake is going to be determined who keeps what position. The 11 and 74 doing a great job, staying off one another. 41 down of the 70 laps here. There's the 74 and that 11. See these bumpers on these little Legend Ford Coupes. And little pipe there, they can send that car in front of them. All they do is lock link. And it's not a good thing, but these guys are staying off one another. 74, like he was trying to go low there, and 11 came down and slammed the door. 74 looking high, and then maybe trying to get low on the off. He's just not able to get enough gas to do so. As the 11, as he comes down to that apron there, 74. 74 looks like he's trying to hook inside off, but it's just not getting enough momentum to do so. Looks like they're about to lap Fish again here. They're coming on Fisher, and they're high. Fish is going high. And he's up along that wall. Both the leaders go by. 74 under the 11. The 11 gives a little bit of a love tap. Inside, 74 high, 11 is low. The 11 goes back to the front spot. 74 looking for that underside again. Look and see if we get a crisscross again to 74. The 11 going low. The 74 a little bit on the high line. 74 now has the lead. 47 down. That 11 machine is within striking distance of the 74. The 74 is trying to get some room in between them. 48 of 70 as we cross the line. Oh, current leaders, Adam O'Brien, followed by Jeremy Weber in that 11. David Dunwoody in the 28 machine as, oh no, Fish up into the wall, flipping down the front straightaway. And looks like we're going to call that a caution and stack the field. So Adam O'Brien is your leader, followed by Jeremy Weber. David Dunwoody in that 28 machine is in third. Eric Sellers in fourth in the 97. The 16 is Ryan Rust. And Anthony Giuliano in that 43 machine is in the sixth spot. David Trumley in the 96 machine is in 7th. Brian Sharp in 8th. Jeremy Dunwoody in the 13 machine. Looks like he might have gotten into some little wrecks, so I'm going to go back and check that out. And Jordan Dubé and Donald Fisher. Fisher's actually still is in pit road right now. Pits are on the outer loop of this track. So as we see the other guys coming in maybe to get fuel only. Let's see what they're doing here. Get Weber up in the front. See what these guys, looks all guys are getting tires. I do know it takes a while to get tires around on this track. Everybody is in the pits. The 11 and the 74 who made it off. Looks like the 11 might have actually edged out the 74 coming off of pit lane. Let's see if we can go back on with Jeremy Dunwoody and see maybe what had happened in that lap there. All right, here with Jeremy Dunwoody in that 13 machine. Inside of him is the 96 of Trump. Oh, the 13 ends up finding that 38 of Fish. You do remember that 38, the 98 machine was up in the air on the lap here. Here, 47, where he goes up into the wall and ends up flipping the car. Ends up trying to get out of the way and ends up going up into the fence, coming down the track, and there's the 13 finds him head on. And so we go back to live racing here. Looks like the number 7 machine is our leader, or was the leader. See if this thing will get sorted out. Scoring the number 7 as our race leader, and the caution is out. .25 might have been into that contact there. Let's see if we can back that one up. Where the caution lie in that. It looks like the Jordan was given an EOL on that to put Webb back in the lead. I have to ask Andy where that came into play. Right now, 10 laps as we get to the line will be remaining in the event. All right, so here we go. 8 laps to go. With Weber followed closely by the 74 of Adam O'Brien. Fresh tires, the 11 was on a tear, but the 74 may have been controlling himself to try not to burn up his tires. Anthony Giuliano and that 43 machines moved up to 4th position. He was telling us that he's really good in these cars. In 97, looks like he cut down a tire there in the front, and 16 in the 96 contact. 6 laps, 6 laps remaining, so 6 laps remaining here. All right, gonna have a caution out here and 5 laps to go. All right, 4 laps remaining. I believe we do have green-white checkers in this division. Looking here to see if we do have them. Well, that is correct that we do, but see how that works out here. 3 laps to go. Here's our intervals between everybody. There's Anthony Piano. His best lap was a 15:4:27. Yeah, good look from our drone coverage camera, that 43 machine. Back up to Jeremy Weber. The number 11 machine is, we're looking 3 to go, so that looks like we are green-white checkered. That's usually what happens with the green-white checkered. It has not dropped down below 3 yet. So we're going to have a green-white checkered. So once the green flag comes out, we'll 1 lap to white, and then it'll be a checkered flag. If the caution comes out before the final lap, they'll stack them up and do it again. We are in overtime, as they say, as the lights are off on the pace car. The 11 Moxie machine looking for the pace car to get out of his way so he can get us back up in racing again. Tight formation, as these guys are all going to be looking for a 2-lap shootout. As we get up to here, green. The 11 is on the outside line, came up on the 74, 28 low, contact in the back on the back stretch. 2 laps to go. The 11 is on the inside of 74, and the outside of 28 below the 74. That's David Dunwoody. And it looks like the 74 is looking to go high. The 11 now cuts down on the 28. 74 to the outside. The 11 and the 74 race to the backstretch here. 11 takes the lead. The 28 down on line. 43 coming up. 74 clips the outside retaining wall as we finished with the 11 across the stripe first. That was a bad hit for the 74 of Adam O'Brien. So your race winner, that 11 machine, again, done quite a bit here with us of winning here, and he's burning it down. So your results are presented to you by Travel with an Angel, putting joy back into vacations. You're looking for a vacation in the future, your special needs family, we help you out there. Travelwithanangel.org. So Jeremy Weber is your winner, followed by David Dunham in a 28 machine. So that's the 1-2 into 1-2. Anthony Giuliano in 3rd. Brian Sharp 4th. David Trumley in the 96 5th. Adam O'Brien finishes in 6th in a 74. Then Brian Bruce in the 16. George Dubé in the 7. Jeremy Dunwoody to 13. Eric Sellers 97 in the 10th position. And that would be our cars, all 10 of them. So All right, so we're gonna end up talking to our drivers here. We're gonna try to see if I can get a hold of our third place person here. There we go. There's Anthony. I need to move myself. Apparently, I'm not. All right, now I'm in the booth chat. All right, Anthony in the transfer, and we're gonna ask for Weber and Dunwoody. All right, so everybody's there. So let's talk to Anthony first. Anthony, it's Harold up in the booth. You guys came out to support the USRLA, and your first time out, Irwindale Inter in the third position. How's that for you?
I mean, I feel pretty good. It's been about a year since I've been in these cars, so had to get some feedback under me there.
Yeah, it seemed like you were just kind of sitting back, waiting to strike. And did you take tires on the caution lap? Because I know everybody else seemed to. I couldn't see everybody, but sometimes you take tires in this thing, you go laps down. So
Yeah, I kind of figured everybody was going to. The track's pretty greasy. Looked like everybody was sliding the nose a little bit, except for the leader there. So kind of tried to figure it out near the end of the race, but just took tires, no gas, and came out a little bit ahead and had a little bit of luck too.
all right, cool. So I do believe you have. Do you have a late model car in your trailer looking for the outer lap here next?
I believe so. I got to go make sure I got the right scheme on it, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you want to thank anybody while we got you in the booth? We're gonna run off into the other guys, and then we'll finish our double header on the outer loop here.
And just thank you guys for broadcasting. I appreciate it and allowing me to come in and run with you.
All right. We'll talk to you later, Anthony, and good luck on the next event.
And boy, buddy. Thank
All right. We're gonna get with David Dunwoody, or Andy, as we like to call him, number 28 machine. Second, you're always that bridesmaid, though, but the 74 probably, did that scare the heck out of you? It scared the heck out of me in the booth.
When he hit the wall?
Yeah, when he clipped the wall going, yeah.
I was kind of watching the new guy Anthony there on my outside.
Yeah, so you didn't have a chance to really watch the 74?
No, I was not watching the 74. I was watching the 43.
Yeah,
And
he,
trying to get the bumper to the 11.
yeah, I saw you guys really putting on a show there for those final two laps in the green white checker there. We saw a fish on his hood. I guess he was trying to get out of the way of you guys' lead lap cars coming through and then flipping over. It wasn't.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Fish.
I think Jeremy got into it there. Kind of a weird strategy. I mean, I've ran in these legends before, and I was surprised nobody didn't take tires. Because it put trapped all of you down a lap.
We were, yeah, I knew I needed tires. We were almost a full second off the pace when it came to tires. But 20 to go. It's kind of no-brainer to put tires on.
Like I said, I'm there's that one guy that gambles like, I'll just stay in the lead lap. And it didn't happen.
Usually that's Weber when we trick him.
Yeah. All right.
Didn't happen.
All right. So we're going to be going to the outer loop with the late models next, right?
Yes, sir. Two different lines that I found from a couple practice laps I've run. But we'll mostly be right against the wall, putting some Darlington stripes on these things.
Well, that'd be interesting to see the legends riding high. It's actually really cool watching them in the inside of Irwindale. That you guys were actually coming up to the basically the flat in both the stretches onto the outer. So you guys have already basically been on there with the legends cars.
The cars are so tight, you'd hit that transition and it would help the car turn.
Okay, that would be good. All right, we're gonna go get Jeremy Weber here and let you get into your late model car and try to get going. And I did talk to Anthony already. He says he's making sure that he brought the right paint with him. We'll see
cool.
you. We'll see you the next. All right, Dave. We'll see you next time.
I'll probably finish second again.
All right, second again. All right. All right, Jeremy Weber, do I need to put you a spot next to me?
Oh boy, I got the monkey off my back. I was worried there for those past 2 weeks of us racing and not getting any wins, and I had to go the route of thinking that it was the paint scheme, so I went back to the orange Moxie, and you
Yep.
know what? It did me good.
Well,
But
what were you thinking with the 74 on the last lap there?
he, I saw him coming on the outside, and hats off to him. He drove a great race, and he should have had a better finish. And I uh, I was I was definitely the past, the last 5 or so laps. I was trying to cover that bottom lane, and I knew he was getting a run on me going wide, and trying to watch my rearview mirror and seeing where his line was, where he was coming off the corner, so I can kind of block his advance on me. And um, yeah, I was pretty stoked this race. I got to race my cousin Jordan, number 7 in the race for the first time, and that was a blast. Um, and got the lead quite a few laps, which is good for bonus points for sure. Try to extend the lead.
Yep.
But yeah, a bit of a switcheroo. I didn't realize we were running the inner. I was practicing on the outer all week for this car. So 10
Definitely would
minutes
be
to go.
different.
Andy said 10 minutes to go before he raced. He said, "Yeah, we're running the inner." I'm like, "Oh."
Well,
So
it might have been done that way on purpose. Like,
yeah, so I jumped in on a practice session to see like how the heck what gear I need to be in, what I needed to do, and they had me in practice for sure. I know they were running that right like really running tight on the apron.
it
But
looked like you guys were down to 2 turns. You had this thing down because you guys were right in the center of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then all the way out to the outer track basically every lap.
yeah, my right rear was burnt on that last run after like I don't know how many did we do, like 50 laps on one set.
About
And
that, close to it.
yeah, I don't know how the 74 had any right rear left at all to be catching me like that. But I mean, he's a dirt guy, so I guess that's where he likes to be comfortable sideways. So
I guess that's what he likes. All right, we'll let you get into your next. So you already talked about Moxie. Is there anyone else you want to throw a shout out to? Pretty much like I just get a tape recorder and just put play, right?
yeah, no, you guys as well running this thing, and obviously Andy, for heading it, and just hope that I have as good luck in the next race and try to keep it from the front and keep ahead from the front
And that
and
43 machine, I'm not sure what Anthony's be running in the next one. Anthony's from our newest um, grouping, our newest leagues that's joined the One Day Go Studio broadcasting team, the Light Speed Racing League. He's the owner of that one, so he's come by to give a little bit of love to us as Andy and I were given the broadcast last Wednesday for their guys. So kind of
oh
he's a
yeah,
fan.
it's definitely it's great running with the same people every week, and
Yeah.
it's always interesting when there's another person coming in, so I can sort of test my skills against them and see if I can win another one. So
You guys might need to start returning the favor. I know if you might get a chance to look at what we did on Wednesday night. You had the Sadler brothers in that league, so
yeah. Well, I watched that race. That was great. That was entertaining. Laying in bed late at night and watching that.
Anthony's basically said they are looking for more drivers, so that's availability. So all right, Webb, we're gonna let you get back down to pit lane and switch out cars and get ready for the outer. It sounds like you have more experience on the outer than some of these guys do since you've been using both cars.
Yeah. Hopefully, I won't have someone track me down this coming race. That gave me a heart attack. So again, thank you, Harold.
All
Thank
right,
you,
man.
guys.
We'll see you.
Yeah, bye.
All right, we're gonna switch gears now, and we're gonna leave Irwindale Inner and go to the outer. So it's gonna be just a tiny fraction of time as we switch iRacing lobbies. So we'll be right back. You're watching One Day Go Studios. I'm Harold Darner. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. 28 machine, David Dunwoody. Looks like he's gonna have to get a new car. A little bit of contact there. Go back to reset during practice. 6.5 minutes remaining in the practice as we are at Irwindale Outer. You see the practice times up. There's some of these guys coming out. The 43 machine, the Sunoco, is Anthony Giuliano, our newest driver here. Definitely a way different sound between the two different cars. It looks like we have some more camera angles with the outer sections. Eric Sellers just put up the fastest time. There you go. There's what I'm looking for. David Dunwoody fastest time now. Much bigger track. These cars are much more horsepower as well. David Dunwoody on the high. The leaderboard 19,290. I'm going to put 60 laps here. It's 70 in the Legends and that smaller inner side. Now that we have the outer side open, we have the inside retaining wall built up along the inner. And David Dunwoody there. Eric Sellers there. All right, pit lane is on the infield here. Let's see here. Looks like they enter the pits off of turn number 2. 2 and 3 on the back stretch, you come back out. That's what they're going to do. They're using the infield for pit stops. There's David Dunn with that black magic machine. 3:45 remaining. Eric Sellers in the Helig Myers livery. And Jared was not kidding. He says, I'm going to keep that Moxie underneath me. And as he tags the outside retaining wall. David Trumley, the 96 All-Star. Sunoco 43 of Anthony Giuliano there in pit lane. Weber's Moxie. Jeremy Dunwoody in the Black Magic 13. That side of him. And then looks like the Ryan Roost in the 16. Red, white, and blue paint scheme. Brian Sharp in that 25 Big Jim Cookies. And Jordan Dubé in the 7. Looks like spec mapped. Exactly sure. Looks like it's from a different car because the paint scheme is off on it. 7 is a little different than an orange and black machine. Adam O'Brien now 74 shake and bake. It has the top speed of the 19,239. Oh, just under 2 minutes before qualification. Adam O'Brien is 74.19, 239, fastest time on the board. Contact 74 and 28. Excuse me. A little over a minute before qualifying begins. All right, that will be the end of practice for the late models. The Monte Carlo SS machines now take to the track for their 2 laps of qualifying to set the grid. Looks like Eric Sellers the first to come out. Is that high group, Eric Sellers? Here's a good shot coming off of the corner. Into the stripe. $19,296. $19,257. Fast lap so far. See if we get someone else out here, like David Dunwoody on pit lane. Weber's doing. But he's also waiting. Cat and mouse going on. They're trying to figure out when they want to go, trying to wait for the temperature to drop or something on the car. You guys here. There's the 11. Let's go ahead and just do this lap on board as we're watching here from the inside of Jeremy Weber's late model. Is all the way up to that wall, cutting down to cut that corner. Back up to the outside retaining wall, going into turn number 3 now. Coming out of turn number 4, looking for that green flag high in the sky. Alright, so Weber's 19,119. He is in the top spot. And he's going to go look at that second lap, see if he can get any better than that 19,119. Trying to checker flag on the outside retaining here. Boom. Looks like his first lap was his fast lap. See if we can see what David Dunwoody's doing. Looks like they just took the green. Stretch here, looking into turn 3, down all the way to the yellow line. Gonna try to slide that sucker up. Sure, that's the fastest because he looks like he did not quite get to where he wanted to be. All right, he's gonna try this again. You hear that car powering off the turn, looking for 3 and 4. Dunwoody's all the way around the top, trying to keep it off the retaining wall, back to the stripe. What time does he have end for us there? 19.454 puts him in the 5th spot. I'm sure he's not happy with that. All right, we're waiting for qualifying to finish up. All right, let's look at your starting grid. Starting grid is by Black Magic Designs. If you're looking for a new paint scheme, get hold of Andy and the Dunwoody crew over at Black Magic Designs. Get them on Facebook or hit them up through iRacing, David Dunwoody. Jeremy Weber is on the pole in the 11 machine. Outside of him is Eric Sellers in the 97. David Trumley in the 96. He'll be off inside row 2. The number 25 of Brian Sharp on the outside. Inside row 3 is David Dunwoody in the 28 machine. Outside him is Jordan Dewey, and he's in the 7. And inside of row 4 is Ryan Rost in the 16. Anthony Giuliani was told he is not going to make the race, so he had to leave. Well, our new 9th is Adam O'Brien, and outside of him is Jeremy Dunwoody, both of them without times. We have 9 drivers on the grid, getting ready to go 60 laps, 40 minutes of racing. These guys, as they start gridding up. Down from the top of the grandstands at the field. That's the 11, the 97, 25, the 96 blinking in and out there. There's the 7, the 16. For the Dunwoody guys to show up here. That 60 lap feature. There's Andy, he's now in there. David Dunwoody in a 28 machine. The 96 is flashing in quite a bit here. Alright, pace car is off. There's the late models take to the grid. And an 11 machine getting used to that pole position. There again. 60 laps here could cause problems with our tires. It said he 4 must have had to leave early as well. I don't see him in either. So it looks like we only have 8 cars taking to the green. Adam was saying that he was having some headaches or something earlier in the week while we were working Sebring. So A11 looking for the pace car to dive down this turn to the 97 on his outside. So now the pace car is off the field. Looking for the green flag is that 11 machine. They come off the banking. Turns number 3 and 4. Green, green, green. Green flag flying in the air. The 11 low, the 97 high. They're 3 wide behind Andy Dunwoody all the way down to the yellow stripe. As the 11 gets a huge jump on lap number 1 over Eric Sellers in that 97 machine. 28 continues to be down in the bottom line. There's the 96. Big group of cars from second on back as the 11 is spreading out the field. Let's see, Brian Sharp in the 96 machine of David Trumley and David Dunwoody, all 3 together. Looked like a car in the back. I think it might have been the 7 machine on his hood. He's off the track, so looks like the 7 and the 16 are in the pits, and we're still green. There's a 28 cutting the most of the track as he can. 97 to 96 of Trumley and the 28 of David Dunwoody. A 25 car now, Brian Sharp in the mix. And Big Jim Cookie's down and below the 28. He pulls back out. Jeremy Weber off to a 1-second gap, followed by David Trumley behind Eric Sellers. The front 3 spread out pretty well, and then we have a small battle going on for the 4th, 5th, and 6th positions on the track. We're working lap 7 of 60. As you see the 96 high and the 28 all the way down to the bottom. Whoa. The 96 having better off the top was able to get around the 28, but it was near contact. As the 28 came off the lower banking and the 96 was high. Eric Sellers is catching the leader, Jeremy Weber. That time eating into 6/10. It was over a second and a half in the lead a few laps earlier. Yeah, 28 machines still continuing to work that apron. As the 11 and the 97 continue to work the high groove all the way around. And being really smooth throughout the track. No hurt jerk movements. Diamonding down and back off to the high side. Moxie's come down to about the middle of the track into turns and then back up to the retaining wall. As we have finished 10 laps, we're working 11. 1/6 in the books. 11 continues to pace the field. 1:149 between him and Eric Sellers. There's about second gap between first and second and third. And then David Dunwoody in the 4th spot, continuing to look for ways to catch the 96. Like Dunwoody is now starting to work the mid to high groove. And earlier he was running the mid to low groove. So he's changed his strategy a little. And now it looks like the 96 is taking the turns a little lower than he was in the initial start of the event. See that our best battle is right here between David Dunwoody and David Trumley for the third position. 6/10 separate the two, then the second, a little over a second up to Eric Sellers, and then 1-3 from him up to the leader, Jeremy Weber. The Jeremy Weber's got a 1.4 now amongst the top cars. 6 cars on the lead lap. 28 now looking to do that low to mid groove again. Kind of working like they were in the Legends car, going all the way down to the apron and back up to the wall. Don't see like that's really helping him out much. He's losing ground to the 96. Like the 16 and the 7 have returned to the racetrack. Many laps down, and looks like the 28 machine out in the outer retaining wall. Back to our leader, Jeremy Weber, enjoying a 1.7 second lead over second place Eric Sellers. So let's go run through our set of drivers. There's Jeremy Weber in the number 11 Moxie machine in the lead. Next to him, Eric Sellers is behind him by 1.7 in the 97. David Trumley, the 96, is starting to shut that gap down just a tad in the 0.766. And David Dunwoody in the 28 in the 4th spot. Field is way spread out. Brian Sharp is in 5th in the 25 Big Jim Cookie car. Jeremy Dunwoody in that 13 machine just pancaked the right side in the outer retaining wall. Ryan Wilson, that 16 red, white, and blue machine, is behind Jeremy Dunwoody, looking 4 laps down. And Jordan Dubai, he is in the 7, 4 laps down as well. So back to Jeremy Weber, who is 1.8 seconds now leading over the remainder of the field. And then 1.7. So Eric Sellers is not letting him take off. He's keeping him about the same length away. As we're working 24 of 60. Going 12 minutes remaining in the time. That Moxie continuing to make short change of the track. As Jeremy Weber was telling us in the post-race interview for the Legends win, that he was practicing both the Legend and the late model on the outers, so he has a ton of experience on the outer banking that the other drivers may not have had. So we'll see if that works to his advantage, as he's a 1.6 ahead of Eric Sellers. Behind him is David Trumley. It's pretty much spread out by a second or more between positions now. Then continues to put down some quick laps. 1.6 back to Sellers. Sellers is still staying up with him at the current speed. Not sure if Weber is backing it down or Sellers is just maintaining at the current speed with the current tires. Both of them are working on 29 lap tires. There'll be 2 more laps till we see the cross flags. Last laps, Jeremy Webber was 19.9. Eric Sellers was 19.929. And David Trump is 19.882. Dunwoody 20 seconds. Finishing lap 30, we're at the cross flags mark with Jeremy Webber, your leader. Jeremy Webber continuing the lead. 19.215 was his best lap. Put it in 19.936 his last lap. It's the fastest car out there. We're past halfway. Behind him is Eric Sellers. Looks like David Trumley is starting to cut into that lead. Jeremy Dunwoody is back in the pits. Must have been some pretty heavy damage because he's still on pit lane. Over 3 minutes now. Trumley continuing, trying to catch Eric Sellers. We only have 5 cars on the lead lap now. Jeremy Webber leading, as he's look like he's catching up to that 7 machine up front of him. There's Jeremy Webber. 11 is the leader. Eric Sellers behind him by 2.3 seconds now. And David Trumley has cut into that lead. He's a second behind. The second place of 97 of Eric Sellers. Trumley trying to find a way to cut into that lead that the number 97 in second place has in front of him. David Dunwoody is in the 4th spot in number 28 machine. His last lap was 19.347. And then Brian Sharp in the 5th spot. And everybody else is our laps down. Go back to our leader, number 11, Jeremy Webber. As we're coming across the stripe, we're looking at 40 of 60, so it'll be 20 laps to go. Jeremy Webber looking to get around the lap car of the number 7. They said it was his cousin, Jordan Dubé. And to see the 11 getting closer and closer. Sure, he's getting bigger and bigger in that rearview mirror as he approaches the 7. 7 is going to dive to the bottom to allow him to take the high groove around him. Little 7 a little bit wide there. It came up the track slow enough. Eric Sellers now 3 seconds behind race leader Jeremy Webber. 3.2 seconds back to the second place car, as we are 15 laps remaining. A gap 3.5 seconds back to Eric Sellers at 97 machine, as David Trumley has cut into his lead. Let's stay with these guys here as they battle for the second spot. Trumley in the middle groove as Eric Sellers maintains high, the mid and high groove. Under 0.7, so he is gaining. "13 laps to go. Does the 96 have enough to get there and make the pass on the 97? There's the 96 machine behind that 97. Now within 7/10. Starting to close that gap up as the 97 is starting to have to deal with that number 7 machine that's in front of him. 96 now 0.8 back. They're about the same. They're about equal. So they're not cutting in much to Eric Sellers' lead. All right, 10 to go. 9 now at this point as we're watching the 96 and 97 as they get around the 7 machine. Up the stripe will be 8 to go. '96 making the pass on the lap traffic of the 7. Race leader is now 4.2 seconds ahead of number 97, Eric Sellers. And Eric Sellers and David Trumley is stretched out to about a second. So 96 is running out of time to make his claim for the second spot. Working lap 55, so we'll come to 5 to go as the leader touches the stripe on the next pass. It'll be Jeremy Weber. His last lap was 20:17. Eric Sellers was 21:14, so he continues to stretch between him and the race leader in the second place car of Eric Sellers. Five laps to go. 4 laps to go. With Jeremy Weber here. Don't see anyone around him, so he's got plenty of wide open track. Ryan Roos is ahead of him. Might be a while for him to catch him though. 3 laps to go. And 11 machine, 2 to go. 2 to go for Jeremy Weber. Final lap now. And the white flag flies. 1 to go Studios presents the 1 to go final lap. White flag in the air for the 11 machine as a 483 over Eric Sellers as he comes skating across the line. There's the 11 machine. Go back to Eric Sellers and David Trumley. There's Eric Sellers, David Trumley, David Dunwoody now. At 25 of Brian Sharp right behind him. As looks like David Dunwoody will take the 4th position. Brian Sharp 5th. So let's go and look at our results. Presented to you by travelwithanangel.org, putting joy back into your vacations. Jeremy Weber, your race leader. Eric Sellers in second in the 97, 96 of David Trumley third. David Dunwoody, that 28 machine, is fourth. The Brian Sharp 25 machine is in fifth. Ryan Bruce 16 in sixth. Jordan Dubay is 7 in seventh. Jeremy Dunwoody in 13th position rounds out the field in 8th. 43 and 74 did not take times. So that was your results. I Travel with an Angel. Get to come by and check out Travel with an Angel when your next vacation. All right, we're gonna check in our drivers here, who we have grab a hold of. But then we're going to go directly to the third place car, 96, David Trumley. Hey, David, it's Harold in the booth. Got you third place here on the outer track at Irwindale in the 96 machine. How you been tonight?
Doing pretty great. Haven't ever really raced here besides in the Legends cars, but kind of an odd track.
It seems like you're building up a lot of speed, but there's just not a lot of radius in those turns. You were fishing throughout the entire race looking for a groove, it seemed. I saw you low, I saw you high, I saw you middle. So
Yeah, a lot of the guys in practice were saying to run high, and it definitely felt like you should have entered high, and then swinging low is what I was finding worked well for me.
I said I've seen a few lines. Saw the 28 going all the way down and then sliding up, coming off the groove. I didn't think that was working out really well for him. I think I was looking at the 11, and it looked like he was entering high to about middle and then back off high. It's my 2 cents.
Yeah, everybody was trying a lot of different lines, that's for sure.
Yeah, just it is a different track, and I think it's an interesting track. Mainly the Irwindale got added because of the figure 8, that they do run here and iRacing put in the machine. So I haven't seen a lot of races here at all. I mean, I did Legends for a few official seasons with iRacing, and I don't remember being at Irwindale at all. But, it's a different track. Definitely different, but a little bit of banking. But I can see these cars gaining a lot of speed, and you had to find a way to deal with that in the turns. That problem tonight. So did you guys were you guys gonna hopefully wait for a caution, maybe take some tires? Was the right side's wearing out quick? Okay, well, I'm not hearing anything from David at this point. So it was David Trumley, the number 90s. You got him back now? David, you back?
Yeah, I was just saying, I didn't really have a pit strategy or anything. The car felt pretty good all the way to the end.
Yeah, I saw you at one point. You were gaining on the 97 machine, and then I guess you just found something that you were doing.
Seemed to fizzle out. I was looking at that too. I just started running the same pace as him, man. That's my teammate, so I'm happy to see him ahead of me.
Oh, right. Well, David, I think we're gonna it's been 2 weeks. Did you take any time off to look at anything differently while you were away from points racing?
Well, I've started a full-time job. I haven't been working full-time in a while, so I basically haven't been focusing on racing at all, really.
No, no. He actually had a job. Like,
Yeah.
how we do that, right?
How horrible, right?
How horrible. That's right. Looks like we're going to be heading out to Pocono East for the next race, and that's a road course. So how you
Oh,
looking
I'm
for
definitely
that?
excited. Very excited. I'm a road course guy.
Okay, well, Pocono East is next week, and that's an interesting race combination with the Legends car. So hopefully you'll show us how it's done next week, and we get you back out there. Thanks for coming up. Anybody want to thank while we got you before we switch off to another person here?
Just want to thank everybody here, all the guys running USRLA. Fun group of guys to run with. Always look forward to it every Sunday night, and just happy to have my teammate up here with me.
All right, and I think I'll be talking to him here in a minute, and I think he'll talk about the clash that he's putting together for this.
Yes, definitely check that out.
All right, David, we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. Have a
All
good
right.
one, man.
All right, we're here, second place, 97 machine, Eric Sellers. It's been a little while, Eric. I think you've been doing some other things. How you been?
Hey, not too bad. Yeah, we had a couple weeks off there with no points, and then we were out of town for a bit. Feels good to get back though.
Yeah, in the second place in the late model car. It seemed like you were a lot more comfortable in this one than you were in the Legends and that inside track.
Yeah, I'd never ran the Legends track there on the inside before, so took a little getting used to. Legends or the late models here, they're definitely a little bit easier. It felt like for me to drive.
It looked like pretty much flat on the inside, and then you had the banking here. Just had to get the car woed down, and it looked like you had it pretty well set up for you, as far as like coming off and then about middle, with high to mid and then back to high. It looked like the same thing that the 11 was doing. Just you seem to have it a little bit more dialed in, a little bit more laps on the track, I think.
Yeah. I think me and Jeremy were running pretty close to the same line. I got the fast lap. It looked like in the race, but he was just a hair quicker every lap.
Yeah, and so we've been working on the Clash that's coming up this week, right? Clash of Legends. Remember right? We're looking at. So we want to tell us a little bit about that. What's going on?
Yeah, so that's just a 3-night mini series race. Friday and Saturday day will be daytime starts, 60 laps, and the Saturday will be a night race, 100-lap race, open setups. It's a $35 entry fee. We got trophies for the top three. There'll be payouts each night, and then also payouts for the overall from all three races.
All right, so you're still looking for people for the Clash of the Legends, and so get with Eric Sellers, and we'll be putting that on here on One to Go Studios for the weekend. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So 2 nights and a daytime start. We'll be seeing you, Eric. I'm sure you guys are looking forward to that. There's going to be a lot of preparation for anything of that size, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And throwing the open setups out there, I feel like it, keeps everybody as random as possible. Show up, make some adjustments, and hope for the best, I guess.
Yeah, definitely is going to be. There's a wide berth of Legends drivers out there, and the iRacing Official is an open set system, so I've seen quite a few. You get wide berth. There's the rookies that just jump into them, and then there's guys that have been in them things for so many years, and then a lot of real life Legends drivers as well hang out in the iRacing Official lobbies, these racetracks. Maybe some of them will show.
Yeah, absolutely. If anybody interested, just get a hold of us. Trackmaster Racing's Facebook page has a lot of the information. join our Discord, and I guess we'll see you Thursday.
All right, Eric. You want to thank anybody before we let you go? Because then we're gonna start talking to you back on Thursday. So probably talking to you throughout the week so we can get all of our stuff hammered out.
Yeah, just Trackmaster race cars, Sellers spray foam insulation. Now we've added spray foam to what we can do, and that'd be it.
All right, Eric. Thanks for coming and good job there with the second place finish. We'll be talking to you later.
Sounds good. Have a good night.
All right. All right. Jeremy, I think I left a spot for you, man. It's got another, in the production trailers, they got names on everybody's chairs, and I just told the production team to, just have one here with your name on it.
Oh boy, we got done early there for you tonight, huh? What are you gonna do for the rest of your night? We're done at 10:45.
Yeah, really.
No cautions.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Well, there could have been. We had two cars pretty quickly got into it. I think it was the 16 and the 7, but it was in the back, so we kept going great.
Once I started seeing those two in front of me, that were when I was catching up on them, they were running pretty close to each other. I'm like, please do not race each other too hard. It was like 3 laps to go, and I could see nearly their rearview mirror, and just waiting for that white flag to just bring it home safely. No cautions, and I didn't know what I would have done if at least 5 to go. I'm like, do I get tires? Do I not get tires? People start racing pretty hard.
Yeah. It seemed was it high grew to middle and back off again for this one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is that as I started the race, I was kind of running that middle line, trying to get my left front on a little bit of the clean surface, and just middle low line, and it seemed to do good. And once the tire pressure started heating up, it seemed like the high line started running better, and I could see Eric kind of gaining on me a little bit, so I jumped onto his line, and it seemed like it slowed down his approach. And I tried to be ginger on that right front as much as I could, not try to slide the nose at all coming into the corner. Wait till I could feel the weight transfer through the middle, and then get on it gradually, and got on it harder as the run went on.
Yeah, definitely short track racing, really. The straightaways were long enough that you got these cars up to speed, but it didn't seem like the angling of the turns was really in favor of these cars. You guys really had to do a lot of slowing down, and I heard somebody actually shifting earlier.
Yeah, I didn't really want to shift. If you're shifting at that point, then you're burning your right front up too much. You've already burnt your right front up pretty much if you're needing to shift for it to turn. So I just tried to roll center as much as I can, and to make sure that I conserved that right front as much as I could. Once I saw, I don't know if it was about 2 seconds back on Eric was, and he must have either hit the wall, or his right front must have just gave up on him. But he started dropping.
Yeah, he had some right side damage is what I'm looking at right now when he's sitting next to you.
Yeah, I he kept me pretty conservative, I guess you can call it, for the first maybe half of the race. He was about within probably about a second and a half, and just keeping it right there, and keeping me honest, I guess.
Yeah, he definitely was making sure you knew he was there. Wasn't really gaining on you. He's pretty much staying right with you, though. I think he was kind of waiting until you got to lap traffic and seeing if he could catch you up through there, but he ended up,
I don't know what happened. I know fast time when practice was done by the 74, so I don't know where he went off to, but sure that would have been a fun race.
Yeah, not sure what happened to Adam,
yeah.
and then we got a text from Adam Giuliano that said that he had to call it a night early. He couldn't finish the rate.
The war of
There.
attrition.
Yes.
Last man standing. All right.
Well, that's what Andy and I found out. Andy and I did the 3-hour Sebring endurance race this weekend, and that's what I kept telling him when he was in the car for the last stint. I'm like, look, just drive the car. They're falling off left and right. War of attrition in those longer races. We're doing 12 hours here in 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, I wish I had more time possibly to try to do one of them road races, but we'll see next week. That road race on schedule. We'll see how well I fare as
Pocono East.
That is not my forte.
Oh, it's not mine either. Not at all. But what I'm finding out in these endurance racing though is the guys who can protect their equipment and such.
Yeah.
Who know how to take care of tires and things.
Yeah.
And make smart moves. That's the big thing. And I did tell Andy, he said, I definitely need somebody in the pit in the box to remind me of my own analogies. And I tell people, hey, you got to finish first to finish. You got to finish.
Yeah, I wish I heard that the last 2 weeks.
You got to finish before you can finish first, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. To my defense, I think I was caught up in the first accident last race. But I definitely think that starting in the front, I mean, having not have to start from the back these past 2 races tonight, I feel a lot better when I'm able to conserve my gear and run my own race rather than having to worry about dealing with other people's messes or trying to balance conserving my tires with trying to get to the front, and sometimes it's just too much ground to especially on this track. I was worried that this is a long track, people get strung out. If I had to start from the back, I would need cautions. I might have to turn someone into the fence to get a caution or something like that. But
right. Yeah, we definitely don't. We don't want to see that.
I wouldn't have done that. I'm just kidding.
Hey, I've seen Andy do it, so
I might have to throw a bottle out of the window or something like that.
As you're talking about some of the fun races we were doing last week, and Andy or not Andy, Jeremy turned me in the Pro 4 truck threw a big block on me and threw me over the wall in Charlotte.
Yeah, that wasn't fair. I didn't realize that you could use the Pro 4s in that. Here I am using the 2s.
Well, they said it was both of them, but I only got into the Pro 4s because of the Roush guys, and the Roush guys were helping me out.
Yeah, that looks like fun. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little jealous of you running in those things with those guys.
Well, they were looking for people.
Not that I would be any good at it.
Well, I'm not either. Have you seen where I place?
Yeah.
I mean, we were happy with the 15th, and my wife was like, well, that doesn't sound very good. I'm like, there were 30 drivers. I guess pretty good for me.
I think I saw you battling with Chris Buescher there for a little bit.
I told Chris when I'm supposed to meet the guys in Dover if everything goes well and we're able to actually be at the racetrack. I told Chris I got something for him because we spent more than enough time beating and banging on each other in practices and in the race. We're going to Wild Horse on Wednesday. So as you're mentioning, that is our last race for the special event system. And because it was a special event, that's why I actually got in the car. Actually, I've been a commentator and race control for them for the last year. And not sure what the next season is going to bring. Jack Jr. is supposed to make an announcement on Wednesday, so stay tuned.
So is he runs that?
Junior doesn't run it, but he's the boss. He pays for it. or he handshakes the deals.
He's the name.
Well, his dad has actually showed up to one of the races and talked to us and stuff. It's pretty cool listening to Jack talk about some stories and stuff, and then so we got Junior, and then I got Joey Atterbury and Nate Stacy and Jeff Altenberg and Owen Trinkler and Rob Holland and all these big time guys that I never knew who they were, and I knew Buescher and Newman. And
hope not to overdrive the race car next week and spin out in front of him and make a total bum of myself.
Yeah,
I'll try to make a good showing for our our league.
Yeah, well,
Maybe I should
that's
practice up.
yeah. There's a wild horse. I'm trying to, it's funny. I had to ask Joey in our league why we went from the biggest track to the smallest, like instead of from the smallest to the biggest, because we actually started at Crandon, then we went to Wild West, and now we're going to Wild Horse, which is the smallest of the 3 road courses for the track. So
Yeah, it's not much passing on that one. That's hard.
they're all that way.
That's hard. Jeez.
I got launched in Crandon in the land
that's
rush.
like a dirt bike track, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more motocross than it is but they still race them there. You got some passing zones, not as wide as Crandon was. I mean, Crandon
the
was
old
wide
Mickey
open.
Thompson series trucks.
Yeah. Oh, we were talking about the 4x4s with was it Ivan
Stewart.
Is it Iron Stewart? Remember the old
Yep.
arcade game, the 4x4 arcade game
Yep.
you could play. So with the nitros. But hey, Jeff, Jeremy Webb, we good to catching back up with you. You know, like I said, we might as well just have you. One of these weeks, we might just black flag the car and put you up in the booth to stay.
Yeah, no. Or if I win the championship, maybe next year I'll just stay up there and I'll retire.
Yeah, just hold it. And then, are you going to participate in the Clash of the Legends that Sellers is putting together?
I don't know, man. Trying to convince that one for the boss. I don't know.
Yeah.
the extra time I got my one night. You know, it was on a Sunday. Who knows?
It's actually Thursday, Friday, and Saturday,
Yeah.
so it's like none of them are Sunday nights. So
that might be hard, but
all right.
see.
Well, if
We'll
you can, if it's good. And then I've got some stokes in the fire. I got some guys coming back to me asking me from special events. A couple charity races we're looking at, and like I said, I got Roush and stuff. So we'll get some other things working in the field. So keep you guys informed.
All right, yeah. Well, and again, I'd just like to thank you guys that run this thing, the USRLA. It's definitely it's a high point of the week to be able to run against the same guys every week, and you get to know them and respect their driving styles, and maybe sometimes have a little bit of a rivalry, but as well as the Moxie soda that's on my car, and Maniac Motorsports is another one that I'm
Maniac
involved
Motorsport.
in.
Okay. Yeah, and
for us Mainer drivers up here in the frigid cold air right now in Maine.
You Maine crazy Maine people.
We make out to be good drivers though, even though we can only race about 4 months out of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm from the Michigan group, the South relocated, that's us.
Yeah.
That's the group that I'm in, so. All right, Webb, we'll talk to you later. You have a good night. All right.
Thank you too.
All right, so that would be concluding the doubleheader here at Irwindale for the USRLA Irwindale doubleheader Legends and the Monte Carlo SS late models. I'm Harold Darner. Have a blessed evening.